My girlfriend is in a complete mood because I don't let her stretch and pull my hoodie strings. My GF is off in a huff because I don't let her pull and stretch my hoodie strings. I take a lot of care of all my clothes seeing that I don't have a lot of money and most of my hoodies were gifted to me by my mother, so I take extra care of those, and my girlfriend is in tears threatening to break up because of this. Is it so bad that I don't like it when someone pulls and stretches the strings on my hoodies? That's fucking pathetic. That's not the behavior of a 16-year-old. Not even my 6-year-old niece would cry over being told not to pull on my clothes. If she truly wants to break up over something so ridiculously petty, trust me when I tell you that she's not the one for you. I doubt it's about the hoodie, it's probably because you told her, no, and she's not used to not getting her own way. That's usually the story when people behave this way over something so minor. How old are you guys? I'd just really appreciate it if you didn't pull or stretch my hoodie strings, and I feel like it's a small request that doesn't need much explanation, and if she can't respect a small thing like that, you might be in for a ride when it comes to bigger things. It is about respect. She is not respecting your choices. It would be like wearing something of hers that she likes and stretching it so it breaks or cannot be used anymore. Try to use examples of how you feel so she understands, and if she continues to ignore that she is doing something that asked her not to do, then she is doing it deliberately as she has learned to behave badly to get attention. That would be another question to answer, i.e., how to stop myself destroying other people's clothes to get attention when they said not to do it but I carried on until they got really angry at me. Is your girlfriend a cat? Even though you are both 16 and 17, this is really ridiculous to argue about, and the fact that she is threatening a breakup because you don't like your clothes stretched tells me that she doesn't like not getting her own way. I recommend you show her this thread, because this girl will not have any long-term relationships if she carries on this way. Even at age 17, please recognize this as a red flag and don't let someone cross a boundary you're not comfortable with. It's a small thing, but realizing early what you're willing to deal with and what you aren't will save you a ton of headache in the future. Scissor. I've read some of your other posts. It seems like you may be having some at-home issues. Perhaps you're staying with this girl to take your mind off your living situation? If that's the case, I'd definitely say you should call it quits, or at least tell her you guys need a break while you go focus on yourself for a while. She seems very immature, and you're young. You have no obligation to stay in a relationship like this, especially if the problem is as clear-cut as you say. Y'all too immature for a relationship. LMAO. My girlfriend is in tears threatening to break up because of this. If someone is in such a tizzy that you won't let them destroy your clothing that they're willing to break up, this is such a huge red flag that you should break up with this unstable person before she does something crazy. You should ask yourself if you really want to be in a relationship with a child. My 4-year-old twins always pull my hoodie strings and I say no, let's not mess up mommy's clothes, and they stop and go play. She sounds emotionally immature and manipulative even for her young age. But she probably doesn't know it and just doesn't have the tools for expressing what's really going on. She might not even know what the real issue is. But I do know, it's not about hoodie strings. It's not your job to make her comfortable with the boundaries you set so long as you've communicated them in a respectful way. Say what you mean but don't say it mean. It's her responsibility to explore her feelings and reactions with regard to those boundaries. If she doesn't seem capable of this, I'd encourage you think about the health of your relationship. Edit. A sentence. She is the kind of girl that perpetuates the stereotype of manipulative tears I've had to battle my whole life. You are setting boundaries. This is healthy and expected of a relationship. She is trying to overstep your boundaries and guilt you into letting her do as she pleases by crying and threatening to break up. This is not acceptable. Do not let her get her way. Do not apologize. As long as you are being respectful, you are completely in the right. Don't yell, cuss, or insult. Just calmly say, I don't like it when you do that. I have asked you not to. Please respect my boundaries. If she chooses to break up over this, I think you've dodged a bullet. LMAO. Really, dude? That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. First of all, you're totally fine for not wanting anyone to potentially stretch out those strings. If she is seriously angry you won't let her do that and is willing to break up over that, she's not the one. You could mention next time she tries it that, if the only way you guys are going to be together is if she messes with your clothes after you've constantly asked her not to, we're done. That's so sad. Honestly, it's admirable you take care of your clothes and she has no right to them at all. If you day something, it's word of law not, let me whine until I get my way, it's your property, and if she doesn't respect it, or is threatening to break up if she can't have her way, that is the most childish thing in the world. You should take that as a red flag with a flashing light and an air horn attached to it. I'm willing to cut her a very small amount of slack because she's 16 and immature. The issue here isn't so much about hoodie strings, it's about crying, having tantrums and making threats when she doesn't get her way and or isn't permitted to control you. Tell her that. Then add that isn't how people treat each other, and if she doesn't see why what she's doing is wrong, then the two of you aren't a good match and should break up. I think it's better try to move on and find a person that isn't act like a child. This is one of the more ridiculous reasons, and she would always bring the, I will break up with you, just to make you feel bad. Sit down, have a talk and tell her that her attitude is showing the bad side of her and it's really inappropriate for not respecting you and your necessary clothing. If she still acts like a child then just move on. But try to have a small talk. Yeah, that's fucked up. If she leaves you'll be better off at this point. Tell her to leave then if she's gonna threaten to dump you over something so stupid. Tell her to grow up FFS. If she threatened to break up with you, let her. Threatening to break up over not getting her way is just as childish as getting upset over hoodie strings. FYI, you can buy replacement hoodie strings for $6 on Etsy and $8 on Amazon. She sounds pretty immature. Tell her to knock it off. Dump her, not worth the hassle. Do yourself a favor, let her break up with you. This is so stupid that I don't even have the words to express just how stupid it is. If you bend to this type of behavior now, she will expect you to bend from now on and will cry and threaten you every time that she doesn't get her way. Your girlfriend is a toddler and she is throwing a tantrum. How old are you guys? It sounds like she's throwing a tantrum and being quite unreasonable. This kind of behavior probably works on her parents, and now she's using it on. Communication is key in any relationship. Talk to her, and if she still doesn't respect you and your boundaries then you might be better off without such a partner. Ha 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 ha, no. She's being a child. You just do you, stay firm about it. Don't let it devolve into a real argument because there is no argument to be had. She just needs to respect you and your wishes. Hard to learn if you haven't yet, need to learn it anyway. I don't mean to be harsh, but she's toxic AF. She ignores your boundaries, purposely does things that she knows bother you, and when you call her on her shitty behavior, she threatens you with a breakup. I know you're young and breakups suck, but get out of that crap before she escalates. The longer you stay, the harder it is to get away from someone like that. I've been there. My ex basically threatened divorce or suicide anytime I didn't do what he wanted, and he eventually became mentally, emotionally and physically abusive. I don't know if your girlfriend is the same way, but in a lot of these cases, the person will do whatever it takes to maintain control of their partner. That's not a relationship, it's a hostage situation. Are y'all like 12? If she's willing to break up over something so childish then maybe it's best you let her go, dude. Woo, read your own post again. Dude, you are completely valid, that's very controlling behavior. Hold on. That's a pretty severe reaction. Did you possibly bark at her or something, without meaning to? If you were calm and nice about it, then she's just way overreacting. But is it possible that it came out really gruffly, so that her side of the story would be that you yelled at her over something minor? Agree with everyone that she's overreacting. Consider maybe that she got a lot of punishment or else for doing tiny things wrong in that department when she was even younger. From parents or siblings. And if that would be the case, unfortunately the first relationships are the ones where she needs to figure that out and realize that she's acting irrationally. Does she have borderline personality disorder? If she threatens to break up, cool, pack her shit. Straight face, no emotions. She'll fall in line. If she does leave, find someone else, show immature AF. If she doesn't see a backbone in you, she will continue to disrespect you. I guess she looking for control. Ask her to buy you something she likes. That sounds like RSD or maybe BPD behavior. Have you ever talked this possibility through with her? Okay, but is she upset that you won't let her do it or about the way you told her not to? Either way, she's acting very childish. But if it's the latter, you could at least have a talk with her about telling you when the way you've said something has hurt her feelings, etc., so that it doesn't turn into something ridiculous like this. Also, I'd reevaluate your relationship. But keep in mind that teenage girls do tend to get overly emotional and overreact about silly things sometimes. Lol. Fuck no, it pisses me off no end when my 6-year-old pulls on my clothes. An adult can fuck right off. I feel like there is missing info here. How exactly did you not let her pull the strings? How many times has she attempted this? I feel like if she did it just once and you screamed at her, then her reaction is justified. But if you calmly said, "Please don't do that," after she tried 100 times, then her reaction is not justified. A lot of details is needed. If you tell someone clearly to respect your boundaries and they violate them again, clearly tell them again, but if they violate them again, then it's time to let her go. This is what you do. Grab her favorite panties, stretch the dollar hit out of them and ask how she feels about it. Come on, man. As an 18 female you deserve better. That's kid shit, and it not her responsibility to be her parent. She wants to whine that you don't want her ruining her clothes? Okay, let her. Go find someone who will treat you right. Young. Sounds like a good opportunity to learn about boundaries. You're allowed to have them. Don't waver because someone wants to be manipulative, playing victim, and who gets upset. You want boundaries. When it comes to boundaries, set them, keep them, make people understand them and that you're allowed to have them. She needs to learn people have them. You are not obligated to let anyone play with your hoodie strings, or anything else that you don't want, like, agree with. If she wants to be childish, then good riddance. Seems immature, she needs to get over that and be a woman. This seems like the behavior of a 16-year-old. Just be straight up with her that if she wants to keep this behavior she first have to buy you those things. And see how quickly she changes her behavior. Dude, dump her. She can't respect your clothes, she don't respect you. Your girlfriend is an immature child. How old is she?